Finally, the forces of the Chinese server arrive in Korea through the warp gates generated by the system. The Korean forces are ready, but their numbers don't hold even a candle to the great Chinese army. At the same time, official channel goes live broadcasting World Season number 9, and there are currently over 9 million people watching this stream. Spearman Kyung-soo is startled by this broadcasting as it can reveal their fleet numbers to the enemy. Sung-woo says that there are a lot of enemies in front of us, but he thinks that the Chinese are hiding some forces as well. Hanho spots some high-tier golems on the Chinese side. Li Wei says that they must be the reinforcements from the golem master of the Mongolian server. She can spot more troublesome guys in the mix, and it seems like they are a part of the arrow echelon. They can summon giant flying horses, and they can use an ignored defense skill that charges in a soul state. It's more like a force optimized to face a fleet or wreak havoc among the shield echelon of the Korean server. The prosecutor assembles his shield echelon, and this time he is fully determined to stop the enemy from breaking through their defenses. The prosecutor has gone through enough defeat and failure. He also admits that it is impossible to succeed as much as the Necromancer. Still, he will try his best to leap over his limits and succeed in defending this place for the first time. Sung-woo informs Ji Soo-yun that the Emperor has the same commanding class as him, which allows them to control multiple subjects, meaning the Emperor has the same weakness as him. If they manage to take down the Emperor, then their whole army will be neutralized. Ji Soo-yun asks Sung-woo if he wants her to assassinate the Emperor. Sung-woo says that it is correct. She just needs to look for a moment when Sung-woo and the Emperor are going for each other's throat in full force. Li Wei is assigned to Sung-woo's echelon, since she needs to find the location of her high-tier spirits. Li Wei flares up as she informs them that she will show them her real capabilities once she gets her spirit back. After a few minutes, the war officially begins, and the American fleet takes off for the skies. The Chinese players are a bit afraid of the numbers of the American fleet, but their General Li pumps them up with confidence while informing them that they have already made a plan to take care of this fleet. Before they can set off for the main base, the General Li informs his men to be careful, since the Necromancer is someone who uses insane traps, and he must have planted some traps in advance. One of his soldiers gets the news that the Necromancer has shown up at the shield echelon side. General Li becomes happy after hearing it, since the Necromancer is moving as expected, not realizing the shield echelon is a giant trap specifically made for him. Meanwhile, on the other side, Sung-woo arrives at the Chinese shield echelon location, and he summons his minions. The head eunuch is confident that they can take out the Necromancer without using the Holy Orb. But today he is not going to take even a single chance, and he orders his men to activate the Holy Orb. Within a few seconds, the Holy Orb gets launched into the air, and a notification pops up informing everyone that a holy power is filling up the target area. As soon as the Holy Orb activates, all of the minions of Sung-woo start to burn down due to the immense holy power present in the area. In a few seconds, the undead minions are wiped out, only leaving behind their bones. Meanwhile, on the other side in the broadcasting station, reporter Ayn informs the audience about the neutralization of the undead army, and she is wondering if there is a way to destroy the Holy Orb. A reporter from the Chinese side is still cocky as he thinks that the Chinese server is now invincible under the command of the Emperor. He keeps on yapping about the greatness of their Emperor, but something related to Ji Soo-yun happens on the screen which leaves a reporter on in shock. It turns out that the Valkyrie launched a surprise attack, and she is going for the Holy Orb. But her attack gets neutralized by the barrier deployed above the Holy Orb. This failed attack allows the Chinese reporter to make more comments about the greatness of their all-knowing Emperor, but at the same time reporter An comments that the Necromancer is pulling something out. It turns out that Sung-woo pulled out his legendary ranked bow, and the Chinese commentator says that pulling out a mere bow in this situation is useless. After putting some mana in the arrowhead, Sung-woo shoots the arrow. The arrow dodges the head eunuch, and it targets the barrier surrounding the Holy Orb. The shot ends up in a series of humongous explosions. The Chinese commentator becomes serious for the first time, as he now knows well that it's not just the Chinese side which prepared thoroughly for any type of situation. Reporter An informs the Chinese commentator about a saying in Korea which states, "Life is all about fighting experiences, and your Emperor has none." On the other side, Sung-woo is a bit exhausted after the last attack, as he barely matched the strength required to use the bow after obtaining the Yama divinity and getting the counterattack buff. Even though he used a shapeless arrow instead of a 1,000 arrow, its power is still hard to bear. Chinese army was relying heavily on the holy orb, and their morale hit rock bottom after watching its destruction, and they start to retreat as they know what is coming next. Sungwoo summons Army of Apocalypse from the abyss, and he orders them to wipe out the enemy's shield echelon. General Li was watching the whole event using the live stream. He quickly runs toward the Emperor to report the destruction of the defense echelon. As soon as he tries to report something important to the Great One, he gets a system notification stating that physical functions shrink due to an unknown energy, and all of his stats are reduced by 4 points. The Great One warns General Li to show his manners if he wants to see the Emperor. The Great One starts to do a thorough body search, but General Li is thinking that this is not a time to be doing a body search. He knows that they have to do it every time. But this makes no sense in the middle of the battlefield. As soon as the body scan is completed, he is allowed to move in. After entering the room, he gets a notification stating that you have entered the mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang. Before General Li can report anything, the Emperor informs him that he already knows what happened. The Emperor informs General Li that the head eunuch is still alive, and General Li needs to tell him to hold out as much as he can, even if he has to use the secret book. Their plan can only run smoothly if they can capture the enemy castle first, and General Li says that he will relay the Emperor orders to the head eunuch. The situation on the head eunuch's side is not looking well, and in the middle of the battle, he gets a call telling him to use the secret book. He becomes angry after hearing it, but he knows well that it is the only method left for them to win against the Necromancer. Head eunuch tells everyone to gather around as he is about to pass down the Emperor's command. The morale of the Chinese army rises through the roof as they believe that any command from the Emperor can save them from this situation. Head eunuch brings an object out, as he informs everyone that in order to use this secret book, he needs the blood and soul of 100 people. Since all of them have sworn loyalty to the Emperor, their souls belong to him. As soon as he activates the secret book, blood starts pouring out of his eyes and the other 100 people mentioned in the book. A notification pops out informing him that you have used an unknown ancient incantation. This incantation is activated by sacrificing the players written on the list. The bleeding head eunuch points toward the Necromancer as he sets him as the target. A notification pops up informing them that the Necromancer has been set as the target, and its goal is to kill him. It turns out that the secret book summoned Wraiths of the Holy Orb, which was created by sacrificing 3,033 priests, and now they are going to relieve their grudges against the Necromancer. The Wraiths try to target Sungwoo in unison. Sungwoo was trying to keep it hidden, but now that the enemy has played their hidden card first, he is left with no other choice but to reveal his hidden card as well. Sungwoo uses his Yama divinity to conscript the souls of the dead. The Wraiths rush to get rid of Sungwoo in order to fulfill their revenge. The bleeding head eunuch is quite happy, because soon the Wraiths will get rid of Sungwoo, and without him the Korean forces will fall like domino effect. All of a sudden, a few portals open up and they release chains which can bind the Wraiths. The dying eunuch cannot believe what he is witnessing, as this was their ace against the Necromancer, but the Necromancer pulled up something just in time. Sungwoo gets a notification stating that the mandate of the underworld has been issued in the target area. All vengeful souls are now under his control. Sungwoo says that he was trying to keep it hidden, but they pulled out a hidden card first. The morale of the Chinese shield echelon just hit rock bottom, and they start to flee. Sungwoo asks them that if they have no more hidden cards, then he can start this massacre. Sungwoo uses mandate of the underworld to order Wraiths into attacking the Chinese army. The Wraiths are too powerful, as they can just kill high-level players by just passing through them. Within a few minutes, the whole shield echelon is destroyed. At first, Sungwoo thought that the Emperor would be in the shield echelon with the best defensive capabilities, since he is the type of person who stays behind and lets his underlings do the dirty work. Him not being here means that he is in the spear or arrow echelon. The barrier of Suant town is already being destroyed. Meanwhile, on the other side, the barrier pulverizer ran out of mana. So General Lai orders his men to connect a new mana tank to the barrier pulverizer. The American fleet tries to shoot a laser beam toward the barrier pulverizer, but there is a mana shield surrounding the barrier pulverizers. This barrier pulverizer is made by the greatest facility of the mainland China, and their mainland technology is best in the world. After a few more shells, the barrier around the world tree gets destroyed. One of the operators informs Jonathan Cage that the enemy army's golems are installing siege weapons. So Jonathan orders all airships to target the golems at once. A lot of golems get grounded by the combined attacks of the American fleet, but the golems keep ignoring the damage and pushing through with pure numbers. Taking advantage of this chaos, the flying horses of Mongolia start infiltrating the barriers of the airships. The flying horsemen use soul state to ignore the barrier around the ship and infiltrate it. In a few minutes, they manage to destroy airship number 11. Vessel number 9 suffered critical damage to its engine, and vessel number 17 is going off course. All of a sudden, one of the flying horse rider gets beheaded. It turns out that Jisoo Yun used Aero Echelon's teleportation to move into this battlefield. All of the flying cavalrymen try to attack Jisoo Yun in unison. Jisoo Yun summons her Einherjars to even out the odds. The Einherjar are too swift for the enemy as they keep on incapacitating the flying horse riders. Their captain orders everyone to move back, as he will take them out. The leader throws a small spear toward the incoming Einherjars. The spear has the gigantification skill applied on it, which makes it bigger and faster, and it manages to pierce through 3 Einherjars. The spear is about to hit Jisoo Yun next. All of a sudden, she appears right behind the flying horseman leader, and she says that arrow is too slow to hit me. It turns out she used Teleria shoes of Hermes. These are mythical rank shoes. It increases agility stat by 10, vitality stat by 2, movement speed by 200%, and flight speed by 300%. The user can temporarily enter the gas form, and it has a cooldown of 10 minutes. It turns out that this guy is the #1 ranked player of the Mongolian server, and he knows well about the famous Bladeswoman of the Korean server. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Chinese army advanced quite a bit toward the Korean castle, and General Li orders his men to halt the assault. The Great One moves toward the center of the Chinese army, and he has some sort of item in his possession. He places a huge box in the heart of the Chinese army, and the soldiers get down on their knees. Once the Great One opens up the box, it releases a lot of pressure, and some soldiers get swept up in it. The Emperor comes out of the peculiar box. This is the first time the Koreans have seen the Emperor. A warning message pops up, informing everyone that Ultimate Empty Soldier Command has opened in the target area. A lot of gates open up, and the Terracotta army pops out of them. The numbers of Terracotta are uncountable, and they all look on the same level as some professional players. The Koreans are shocked to see just one person controlling this huge number of beings. Prosecutor tells his men to not worry, since they have someone on their side who can pop out these numbers in a minute. It turns out that Sungwoo just made it back on time. He is amazed to see this huge number of Terracotta soldiers. Li Wei says that their owner must be making them all this time, and who knows if he is still making more of them right now. These numbers are a serious threat even to Sungwoo, and he cannot drag it out. Sungwoo asks Li Wei if she has not recovered yet. It turns out that she found her spirits after taking down the shield echelon. Li Wei informs Sungwoo that they were contaminated. It's impossible to recover them to a complete state immediately, but she will still fight because she wants her revenge against the Emperor. She is thinking that she will peel off that haughty look and only leave his bones. On the other hand, the Emperor detected them as well, and he says that he will show them their place for looking down upon him. The Emperor uses a skill of the light attribute. He releases a lot of strings of light. Li Wei warns Sungwoo to be careful, as he can be controlled if those strings catch him. A giant made up of concrete pops out of the ground. He throws a lot of huge stone chunks towards Sungwoo. This is the worst matchup for Sungwoo, since he can't even revive the golem after defeating it. Li Wei uses her spirit to bind the golem in one place. Once the golem is in one place, the bone dragon catches him by his head. He then throws it away toward the Terracotta army in full force. Sungwoo gets 3,000 gold coins for killing the mid-tier Terracottas, and 10,000 gold for finishing the high-ranked golem Terracotta. Li Wei freezes the movement of a lot of terracotta golems, and she tells Sungwoo to get rid of them using the wyverns. Li Wei is in high spirits after getting her precious spirits back. General Li orders his men to take down the castle walls while the emperor faces off against the Necromancer. The Mongolian ranker and his men are stuck dealing with Jisoo-yun, but they need to finish her off quickly and join the other advancing forces. Meanwhile, on the other side, Spearman Kyung-soo orders his men to reveal the statue. This is the statue of the Guardian, which imbues the Being of Admiration effect in the target area. It increases all stats by 10 points, magic resistance by 100%, and a 200% holy barrier is granted.